let's talk about the Grizzlies a little bit. I absolutely love this offseason. We talked about it last week with Marcus Smart.
They're still making. I still don't know the final details of this Dillon Brooks signing trade.
Yeah. I know they got Josh Christopher, but
then they still have not finalized. And by the way, real quick, and we'll get to it probably in the hot three, but Dillon Brooks was always inevitably going to make what he's going to make when he's a Rocket.
Yeah.
4 years, $80 million, maybe a little higher than I thought. But people talk about vet minimum and, hey, learn Mandarin. Shut the hell up.
No, he got 20
Never was going to be the case. He's a valuable player.
Yeah. But
the big one.
Coming off the heels of the Marcus Smart news, Memphis also gets Derrick Rose, which
that's sweet,
dude.
Listen, okay.
You can't. I don't think you can be. I was gonna say a fan of Memphis basketball. I don't think you can be an NBA fan or basketball fan in general and not love Derrick Rose coming back to Memphis.
Well, here's the thing. I tweeted this out and I still stand by it. It's cooler than it is useful.
Yes,
it's more. The nostalgia of it is better than it actually is going to be on the floor. But damn, I'll take the nostalgia because they paid him the vet minimum over 2 years.
Hey,
Good
so
deal.
New York Knicks fans have been coming in our YouTube comments and saying they wouldn't be surprised if Derrick comes in these first 25 games and averages 15 to 20
He's still got
points
something
a game.
in there, but the injury history, it just keeps him off the floor an extended period of time. He's 34 going on 35.
Yeah, I still think he's helpful in those first 20. I think he's helpful for the whole season because of his experience and leadership. But those first 25 games, I think the ways that they could use Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart, I think could be very interesting. Because do I think that D Rose has a ton left in the tank? No,
absolutely not.
He doesn't. But I think he is going to be a calming presence on this team. Whether how much that shows up on the floor, with him being on the floor or in the locker room, however it shows up. How can you dislike the move? It makes sense.
You could dislike it if you thought that there was somebody more useful on the floor you could go get, whether it be a wing or whatever, what have you. You could dislike it from that perspective. But, I think Zach Kleiman made it very apparent ahead of time. There wasn't going to be some splashy, crazy, insane move, trade. Although the sign and trade, I'm kind of wondered what's coming back, see what happens there. And they have a trade exception. They still have mid-level. They have things they could do still. But from that perspective of I want someone who can play in the rotation consistently throughout 82 games, I can see where people would be a little frustrated. Yes. But when you just look at Derrick Rose coming back to Memphis, that's cool in itself. But he's the same type of player that Ja is, and he flamed out because he didn't quite learn how to control his body all the time, and there was some issues. It was the ACL. Yeah. So I think he could help out Ja massively. And he's had some past transgressions as well, where he had to, sort of learn how to, move off the floor and not let it affect him on the floor. And Ja's going through that right now. I think people will argue against this and try to make it way deeper than it is, but I think he's a good presence to have around Ja Morant. He's been in the game, done the same things as Ja.
You can't
played
argue,
at an even higher level at the same style that Ja plays. I just think it makes sense from that perspective. Now again, rotation perspective, I don't think it makes all that much sense, but I think it's
cool as hell.
Ultimately fun as hell, and I don't really care about. Weirdly enough, I thought I'd care. About the on floor, like that last roster spot, I wanted to see someone who could really make a difference. And, Torian Prince was a guy I brought up. He got signed to the Lakers for $4.5 million. That would have been a great fit from an on floor perspective. But if you weren't going to land like that and go make a signing like that, bring back Derrick Rose, try to lead Ja down the right path. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That's how I feel. And I love it from a nostalgia perspective. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out, but
it's cool.
It's
a heck of a
awesome.
story.
It's sweet.
It's a heck of a story. I love it. I just don't think there's any way that the youngest league MVP ever that has been through his ups and downs has had to, change his style of play and has been through all the different things that Derrick Rose has been throughout his career. There's no way he doesn't help a 23, 24-year-old superstar that is struggling in his own
Think about
way.
his past, too. Tom Thibodeau's known as like a disciplinarian coach, right? Tom Thibodeau never wanted to be coaching a team that Derrick Rose wasn't on.
Never.
And he always talked about his presence as a veteran, especially later there with the Knicks. He loved it. And hell, Derrick Rose had some good days there with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Very solid player with the Knicks until he got hurt and couldn't play a whole lot.
He was was he in the mix for Sixth Man of the Year?
Yeah,
2
he
years
was.
ago,
He
right?
was. He was.
Yeah.
But Tom Thibodeau is a known disciplinarian as a NBA head coach, and he couldn't say a bad word about Derrick Rose. Always wanted him to be around.
No. Yep. Love it.